Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome to a new video here on the channel. Today I will be breaking down the new member of the Lord Vader team, which is going to be Scorch. We got the kit reveal yesterday. Not yesterday, but for me it was almost like yesterday. So we have the kit reveal available for us. The main question I have is if Scorch is going to be able to solve the problems that the Lord Vader team currently has without the Epo Datacron, which is mainly getting out Order 66 and stuff like that. I will be leaving links to those videos in the description down below, so if you haven't checked them out, you can just go ahead and check them out. So let's just start. Unit name RC1262 Scorch, alignment Dark Side of course, categories Tank, Clone Trooper and Empire. So I was expecting a healer as well, like a tank healer, but I like that he's only a tank. That's gonna be pretty good. So key attributes: tank to complete the new Dark Side Clone Squad. Like all the Dark Side Clone Troopers, works best with Lord Vader. Introduces the new buff Bulwark that is reminiscent of reinforced hull for ships, so that's gonna be nice. So yeah, inspiration we don't need to take too much look at because it's mainly from the Bad Batch season, I think it is. So yeah, Delta Squad cameo in the Clone Wars cartoon, and Scorch himself showed up in the Bad Batch, so yeah. So strategy tips: breaching charge applies damage over time to all enemies, tying into the damage potentials of the Sky's Clone Trooper and Lord Vader. So this is going to be really good because, as we all know, Apo has a hard time landing any Order 66 because you need 8 damages at a time. Now with Scorch coming in, you have 8 in total, so you have 6 from Lord Vader and then you have 2 additional from Scorch. So I don't know if you want to try and make Scorch actually be the second fastest character after Lord Vader, because if you can do the AoE with Lord Vader and then follow up with another AoE with Scorch, and then Apo take a turn right there and you can right after, and you can apply Order 66 straight away. So I see some really good modding potential with this right here, but let's just continue. Use Entrench to recover your health and protection and gain the powerful new Bulwark buff. That's gonna be nice as well. Scorch defense capabilities are bolstered even further in Grand Arenas, especially when used in combination with other Dark Side Clone Troopers. So very nice. So how do I unlock it? Yeah, next week in a marquee event, and it's gonna be required for the master window. Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about the abilities. We have the basic Exterminate with Extreme Prejudice. I think I said that correctly. So deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all debuffs from a random debuffed Empire ally. That's gonna be pretty good, especially if you have, for example, days on either one of Apo or Nightfall Trooper, or even on Lord Vader. So that can be really good to dispel it, or even a dispellable healing immunity. So having this, it's really nice. I think also Leia has a dispel all debuffs on the basic, so this is a really powerful ability right here. So, and if the target enemy had Order 66, reduce the cooldowns of a random other non-galactic Empire ally by 1. That's gonna be pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't call out Lord Vader, so Lord Vader is not gonna take any part in this, but still reducing the cooldowns of, for example, Apo or CX2 is always very nice, or even Disguised Clone Trooper. So the first special, breaching charge, cooldown of 3. Deal physical damage to all enemies, inflict 2 stacks of damage over time for 2 turns, and off balance for 2 turns, which can't be copied. So this is really nice, as I said in the beginning, with the 2 stacks of damage over time. So if you can time out with the modding correctly, if you can get Lord Vader to do his unchecked emotions, the AoE that is, and you'll land 6 damages over time, and then if you can get your Scorch to be the second fastest, you can throw out this, gain 2 more damage over time, and then straight after that Apo takes a turn and gives Order 66 to an enemy. So I can see this being really good inside of a modding type of thing. So you maybe have to rechange your moddings a little bit to make Scorch the fastest. I'll definitely try it out a little bit and see what the best way, what the best approach will be. But definitely very good. And the off balance is also pretty nice to have. But the 2 damage over time is the most important thing right there, because it helps us out, especially Apo, a lot to give Order 66. And then we have the special 2, Entrenched and cooldown of 4. So Entrenched, yeah, that is like the conquest ability we have, the conquest card or something like that, I think. But anyways, final text. Scorch taunts for 2 turns, recovers 25% health and protection, very nice. Gain 5 stacks of bulwark for 2 turns, which can be copied. And at the start of the battle, if there's an ally, Lord Vader or Grand Moff Tarkin in the leader slot, and not in the ally slot, bulwark can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So we can see right here, bulwark 150% defense per stack. So this guy is gonna have a lot of stacks, guys. It's gonna be very, very hard to kill off Scorch. So I don't know what the game plan is going to be in a 5v5 situation. If you should go for, if it's better to just try and get rid of Lord Vader as fast as possible. But then again, he is gonna taunt, and when you get a taunt away, he's gonna mark. He's gonna get marked because of the Lord Vader ability. So it's gonna be a very hard situation to choose which character to go take out first. Because remember, you can't kill off CX2 or Appo, I think it is, before CX2 has been killed off. I'm not too sure about that. I might need to change that, but I think there's some clause in there. Maybe it's tied to Omicron or whatever. But moving on to his unique following protocols, Zeta and Omicron. Final text: at the start of each encounter, Scorch taunts for 2 turns, so it's a pre-taunt, which is very nice. While Scorch is taunting, he has 25% defense and tenacity. So as long defense and tenacity is always very nice. However, I don't know if the tenacity is going to be helpful as much, because as we can see right here, whenever an enemy dispels taunt from Scorch, they are inflicted with Order 66 for 2 turns. So you kind of want him to lose the taunt as often as possible, so they can inflict themselves with Order 66. But it can be really good. It's just something that popped into my head. And whenever he loses taunt, he gains 24% bonus protection for 2 turns. This is going to be nice. This is based on his max health, so he is going to be a really, really tanky guy. While he has bulwark, he is immune to speed down, stagger, and stun. This is fantastic. So him not being able to get stunned or staggered or even getting speed down is going to be great, because then you can get all of the plays out there a lot faster. And whenever an enemy dispels taunt from Scorch, they are inflicted with Order 66 for 2 turns, as I just mentioned, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. And if that enemy was a Jedi, Order 66 instead lasts for 4 turns. So as I said, you kind of want him to lose his taunt, or you want someone to do a dispel on him, and they'll inflict themselves with Order 66. I could see this not being as effective from a defensive standpoint, because I think if I would go up against this this team, and I know this clause, I would try as much as I can to not dispel the taunt, but you can't. Not a lot of characters can ignore taunts, so I might need to change that as well, because this is super powerful. I'm not gonna lie, this is super powerful, because he's gonna almost taunt all the time. But yeah, when he does lose his taunt in the Lord Vader lineup, he's gonna have marked, so then they won't be able to inflict Order 66 on himself, I think, at least. Moving on, whenever damage over time inflicted by Scorch expires, he gains 10% bonus protection for 2 turns, so even more tankier. And at the start of the battle, if there's an ally Grand Moff Tarkin gains 200% potency. Scorch assists whenever Tarkin uses an ability. And the first time Tarkin will be defeated, he instead gains Deflective Ward for 2 turns, or until he receives damage, which can be copied, dispelled, or prevented, and recovers 50% health and protection. So, a lot of stuff tied into Grand Moff Tarkin, which is probably going to be crazy good inside of his 3v3 situation in Grand Arena. And while in Grand Arena, Scorch gains 50% max health and max protection and tenacity. So guys, this guy is going to be super tanky. He's going to be really durable. I hope his base speed is very good, so we can try and get him out of the Lord Vader. But as I said already, we'll have to wait and see. Whenever he loses taunt, all Darkstar Clone Troopers allies recover 50% health and protection. This is going to be very good in Grand Arena, and make the team even harder to kill off than they already are. Whenever he gains taunt, he dispels all debuffs on himself, and all other Darkstar Clone Trooper allies gain 10% turn meter, whenever he uses Entrench, he gains an additional 5 stacks of bulwarks, so that's gonna be a lot of extra defense. So I feel like it's gonna be almost impossible to kill this guy off without an insta-kill. But then again, you can't insta-kill because of either Apo or because of Apo. So you can't insta-kill this guy, so you'll have to work your way around this team a lot. So I think this is gonna be super powerful. And then the first time each other non-Galactic Legend Empire ally is reduced to 50% health, Scorch taunts for 2 turns, and the ally recovers 10% health and protection. So this is gonna be very good in a situation, for example, if your opponent gets your Lord Vader out, and then they have to take care of the rest of the clones. They can still put up a pretty decent fight. It looks like, because you still need to go through. You probably need to go through Scorch before you can kill off the other clones, and those clones do have a lot of damage. Apo has a lot of damage, and this guy's Clone Trooper has a lot of damage. So it's gonna be pretty hard to kill this team off even without Lord Vader in there. But overall, guys, I do think that this solves the most issues that I had with Lord Vader, because, or not with Lord Vader, or with this squad, because as I said, so where was it? So we have now additional damages over time, which was a problem before, especially for Apple, because we couldn't land any Order 66 debuffs without the Datacron. So having an extra 2 damages over time is going to be great. As I've mentioned a lot of times now, if you can pair this up with Lord Vader going first, inflicting 6 damage over time, Scorch going right after, and then Apple takes a turn, inflicting the Order 66 on the character with 8 damage over time. And then you also have this right here, whenever an enemy dispels taunt with Scorch, they inflict it with Order 66 for 2 turns and 4 turns for Jedi. So this is going to be very good, especially up against Jedi Master Kenobis. If, for example, Snips does her dispel with her basic, she will gain Order 66 for 4 turns. So you'll be able to ignore that General Kenobi pretty fast and probably kill off that team pretty quickly as well. So I can see this being really good. I don't know how good it's going to be on a defensive standpoint where I am facing this team, because in the back of my head I always know that if I do dispel this taunt, I will gain or inflict Order 66 on myself. So from an offensive standpoint, this is going to be great because the AI is stupid. I don't know how good it's going to be on a defensive note, but overall I think this, with the Scorch addition, I think this team should be able to beat probably every single GL in this game pretty comfortably. I still do believe that Leia will be a problem because they have a lot of ways to ignore the taunt and everything. I don't know if the mark changes that, but still, it's gonna be a lot of teams are gonna struggle with this. A lot of extra bulk and 2 new ways of gaining Order 66, guys. So really looking forward to getting this character next week. I'm gonna take him straight to Relic 9, and then I'll do some testing whether or not how I want to mod this guy going forward. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you want to see more videos of the Lord Vader with the clones, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'll leave a few links to those videos in the description down below. So but if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.